If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power is the newest studio album by Halsey. Containing 13 tracks of the pop variety, the album was written by Halsey with Jonathan Cunningham, Greg Kurstin, as well as having additional writing and overall production duties handled by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, the partnership and creative team behind Nine Inch Nails. The album is meant to be something of a concept record about Halsey and her feelings and experiences in the last year wherein she gave birth to her child and became a mother. In an interview, Halsey has stated that she wanted to make a record that was an examination of the Madonna whore complex. The idea that she is a sexual being and her body is a vessel and gift to her child being two concepts that can actually coexist peacefully. Okay, so for me, though I have heard of her, I'm not overly familiar with Halsey as an artist. I came across this album by way of Nine Inch Nails, actually. When I had read that Trent Reznor and longtime collaborator Atticus Ross would be producing Halsey's new record, it actually kind of piqued my curiosity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Reznor's producing a pop record? Like, what's that going to sound like? And I noticed in some of the fan forums that there seemed to be a lot of Nails fans that were not too keen on Reznor being involved in this project. Oh my God, he's a sellout. How could he? How could he? Etc. But I went into this one, open-minded. I mean, Reznor is, he's kind of a musician's musician in my estimation. He's done great things with his own Nine Inch Nails project, as well as his side project, How to Destroy Angels. And he's been scoring movies quite a bit in the last few years and, doing a pretty good Oscar-winning job at it from what I can see. So I figure you could drop this cat into any kind of musical environment and he's probably going to hold his own pretty well. So, listening to this record, as I got further into it, I was impressed with the futuristic sound of it, as well as the nods to the past and the overall sound and mixing and production of the music. Considering the lyrical concepts at play in the record, where the past and the future kind of become intersected in the mind of an artist going through the process of a major life change, I'll assume this was done by design. Like, say, in a song like The Girl Is a Gun, you've got these like trancey synth vibes with massive bass drops kind of putting hooks on the ends of the choruses, and then you've got synth manipulations that sound like a computer language out of the future wrapped in these sort of 90s style IDM stuttering drum beats. The song is definitely ravey with lyrics that deal with a young woman not really looking for forever. What is the lyric? It's like, I'm not your daydream, I won't have your baby, stop because you're killing my vibe, whatever, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a party tune for sure, lost in reckless abandonment and non-committal fun, followed immediately by a tune like You Asked for This, wherein the party vibe is in full mode, but there's a certain lament in the getting what you wanted and not really wanting anymore, and I get the sense that she's sort of asking her poetic way, is there anything more to life than this fame, success, and then just living the dream and partying your time away? That's my take on it anyway. Musically, that particular song has a great sort of poppier vibe to it, but like a more sedate punk rock sort of thing that breaks down into synth waves and subdued industrial guitar washes that sort of just drown out the consciousness of the track and sort of devolves into a certain, like a numbness as the song just spirals towards its end. Lyrically, this album dredges down deep into the emotional state that people, particularly women, must go through when they realize that they're going to be somebody's mom. There are lyrics that deal with regrets of past indiscretions and the fear of whether those indiscretions will have an effect on this new phase in life. Is she ready to be a mother? Can she be a mother? What does this ultimately mean in the scheme of her life going forward? And there's some fear present in this record, but conveyed with an uncertain but determined sort of fearlessness, because the change is happening whether you're ready for it or not. And hey man, whoever really is ready for that particular change. I feel like Halsey's voice is really coming from the soul on this record. Like I'm scared and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. Musically, the album has a predictable but energetic pop sensibility, and I would say that having, Nine Inch Nails in your corner is not the worst tool to have in your arsenal for creating music that can really kind of dig deep down into the anxieties and fears of life. And across the board, I found the music to be steadily engaging in a way that, unfortunately, a lot of modern pop simply isn't. Like, there's layers, there's density, there's tension, there's release, there's fear and hope in this music on this record. And rarely does it ever sound like Nine Inch Nails. I mean, you'll get the occasional familiar synth tone or guitar sound, but this most definitely doesn't come off as like a Nine Inch Nails side project. And I view that as a good thing. I mean, I'm a fan of Nine Inch Nails, but I didn't come into this to hear Nine Inch Nails. I came into this to hear what they could do when collaborating with a different artistic style. The degree to which this was a challenge for Reznor and Ross, I really don't know. But what I do know is that they most definitely rose to the occasion, and they helped to create an album that stands as its own beast in the world of like synth pop, with dark tonality, having these little bits of like sugar and spice sprinkled into the overall presentation to kind of keep you from basically losing all hope. Reflective, but at the same time, danceable. I don't know really where this album would fit into Halsey's discography, with her fan base having no real frame of reference for, her overall style or sound, so I couldn't say that it would or wouldn't alienate any of her fan base, but I could see it gaining her some new ones from the alternative side of the album. Ultimately, as with all things pop, I gotta wonder, does this album have any staying power? Because pop seems to be that genre where things kind of come and go really quickly, and an artist is like really only legendary for like a day or two, and then everybody just kind of moves on. This record definitely has enough meat on its bones to get repeat business from me. And while I could definitely say that it's not a game changer, powerful though the overall concept may be, if nothing else, it's definitely a record that might give you a moment to like pause and reflect on life in very specific ways. And these days, with pop records that I hear, I'd say that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So maybe, turn the lights down low and spend some time with this one and just see where it leads you. If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power is recommended. And that brings us to the conclusion of this episode of the Audio Files. Thank you so much for taking time to watch my video, and until next time, peace.